Alright, two different runs today featuring some of the lesser played knockout pets. And this one is actually kind of funny because in this first run, I actually had recorded a commentary for this run. And it was just going to be one run in a video by itself. But once I'd finished it, it was only like 6 minutes long or something like that. So I decided that was way too short. And I was just going to re-record the whole thing and put an extra run on the end. So this first run, I wasn't specifically going for any knockout units. I just had some of them in the pack. And we're going to end up with Egyptian Vulture on the team. And then the second one will be more specifically focused on trying to build an unusual team around the knockout units. So yeah, this first one, I think this was in the same pack that I've played a bunch of, that I've used in a bunch of videos recently. It's hard to tell because for quite a while I've run out of space in my pack storage. And so a lot of the time I will save the codes if I know it's going to be in a video, but sometimes I forget. And then I end up overwriting or making slight changes to packs. So whether or not the code for this one ends up in the description, I'm not sure. But I'm pretty confident it's the same pack with... Actually, maybe not. Now I'm just looking that we do have a bunch of units that are the same. Like there's Axe Handle Hound and Drop Bear. But I did see Nightcrawler there, and I don't think I had that in some of the previous videos. So maybe this was just a variant pack. I don't know. It's so hard to keep track. It would be amazing if there was like, like a folder storage system within the game. Yeah. I would imagine your average player doesn't need more than 10 custom pack slots. So yeah, kind of atypical round there where we play the Drop Bear with an empty space at the front just to get the immediate snipe. And then I think here I'm going to take the Toad. Yep. And freeze Broccoli. Alchemedes up front. Yeah, I don't want to waste any of the Skeleton Dog buffs on it. So happy to waste the 2 mana instead. Double Hatching Chick, Rollaway Monkey, but I think we've caught them early enough that we're going to win. Although we're only going to get one Skeleton Dog buff, which is a shame. I guess if I was going to use Broccoli anyway, it wouldn't necessarily make that much difference, because the next Toad we purchase will put the attack up to 4 regardless. And then I take the Seaweed on the Alchemedes, which is maybe a little bit strange considering I should probably be selling it pretty soon. And I guess actually with this setup, the Drop Bear can't ever be buffed by the Skeleton Dogs unless they get sniped. Kind of a weird quirk of the jump pets with the unicorn units. So we get the 2 different knockout pets in the shop, and I don't take either of them. So Egyptian Vulture was there, but then there was also Falcon, and looks like I'm going to take the Giant Tortoise instead. When you have the transform foods, Giant Tortoise is just amazing to just buy. It immediately becomes a 4/10, and then next turn you can transform it into something else. I think I mentioned this in yesterday's video, like so much of the game and customs for me revolves around taking the transform foods. They're obviously super strong for like converting scalers into, leopards and so on in the late game. But for me, I like them in the mid game, trying to create these high roll scenarios where we can take unusual teams and still have a chance. So now at the second attempt, I get Egyptian Vulture, and with the Bonobo at 511 stats, we can just have it copy the Vulture and then get a second one. Well, actually, no, I guess we're not going to have two Egyptian Vultures. We're going to combine them together and just have much better starting stats. But Egyptian Vulture can activate the Skeleton Dog for some permanent scaling. And yeah, we'll take the level up as well. And then I think here I'm just going to take the Cerberus, and then we can freeze Tofu for next turn. Sometimes it is kind of tempting to just buy the chocolate immediately, but if you have Tofu in the shop, it's much better to just freeze it for next turn. And yeah, I do think about bringing in Blue-Ringed Octopus here. I'm actually about to sell my only faint pet when I have Egyptian Vulture, which shows you how often I play it. Did used to be one of my favourite units, but I feel like it's fallen off pretty hard from its olden days of being tier 4. I actually really wish it was still in Golden Pack, to be honest, because there's so many fun teams you can make with it. So the ability doesn't go off here, but luckily the team is still strong enough to get the win. I think we're going to go for level 3 Skeleton Dog. Yeah, this time, am I going to wait? No, I think I should just take it now. So the Tofu freeze was a waste of time, but we're kind of rushing to an early victory here. And I did mention that this run is very, very short. This looks like a free-to-play opponent. They do kill the Cerberus, but the whole of their team ended up getting weakness because, or a bunch of their units ended up getting weakness because of the Hedgehog plus my Toad. We'll take Ambrosia. Okay, I'm double checking the contents of the pack to see if there's anything better. Okay, maybe that would have been better spent on the Cerberus. I'm not sure. Nice to see someone here playing a giant isopod, which must be one of the rarest units in customs. Kind of unusual to put it so close to the back because you're not going to get as much benefit from it, I don't think. And we're just going to win by virtue of the extra damage from the Toad weakness. So perfect shop here. Level up on the Toad, Mushroom for the Skeleton Dog, and then also Chicken Leg for the Egyptian Vulture. Of course, the Mushroom and the Skeleton Dog, we're not going to get max value from that because the Drop Bear is going to jump out of the way. But it's nice having it just in case it gets sniped. But that's not going to happen because we're now going to win on turn 12. Pretty rare that I get these really early victories these days. But I guess you can set a pack up pretty well to win like turn 10 through 13. It's just usually any combo that I'm going for is a bit more complicated and takes a lot longer to set up. So speaking of, let's move on to this one where we take Chupacabra, which after Unicorn release was one of the most common units to see in customs because of the interaction with the original Hippocampus and Rabbit. So originally it would originally it had unlimited triggers, so you could just keep on giving health to the units behind on knockout. Actually, maybe it does still have unlimited triggers. It's that it doesn't give as many buffs. Yeah, it used to give 3, I think, and now it only gives 2. But the original Hippocampus ability meant that every time Chupacabra gave health to the opposing to a teammate, the Hippocampus would give attack as well. And so you would just get these teams that scaled out of control in battle with a tier 2. I guess Hippocampus was tier 4 originally, was it? Or was it tier 5? I can't remember. So yeah, it's very uncommonly seen. I still think it's okay. It's a fine enough unit. It's just nothing spectacular. Which makes perfect sense on tier 2. So I'm going to take Sea Cucumber, which has become my mascot recently. I just seem to take it almost every single pack. It's like, I feel like it's the most fun ailment pet in the whole game. As we actually face double Egyptian Vulture from back in here, and immediately we get the good value from the Sea Cucumber onto the Chupacabra. Yeah, I feel like Sea Cucumber, you get everything that people like about SAP in one thing. You get the scaling from the ailment, you get to disrupt the opposing team, but you also get that randomness where sometimes you don't get the buffs and you feel hard done by, or other times you get the perfect RNG and they hit exactly the units that you want. So great shop here as we roll into Falcon. And I think now you can see the concept taking shape. What I wanted to do here was have a knockout relay. So the idea is that the Chupacabra will knock something out and then it will pass all of the stats that it generates to the Falcon. So in order to make that happen, we're going to put Donut on the Falcon. A food item that is very rarely seen, so kind of fits in well with this team based around Chupacabra, one of the least played units. So whenever the Chupacabra knocks something out, all of the health will go to the Falcon, and therefore that increases the chances of the Falcon getting a knockout. Now maybe there's some way that you could set this up where you'd have a chain of more than 2 knockout pets. But I guess the issue is that if you put Donut on one, I couldn't have like double Chupacabra and Falcon because putting the Donut on both of them, the buffs would be shared instead of concentrating them, which is the entire point here. But do let me know in the comments if you can think of a team comp that involves chaining 3 knockout pets together that would actually make sense. I guess there aren't really that many knockout pets in the game. I mean, the other ones are pony, and then what else? There's hippo, rhino, and Egyptian vulture. Yeah, so not too many overall. Unfortunately, here we lose the donut, which is, it's going to happen a lot. It's actually Yogru not playing vulture. But I think we might just have enough here. And we're going to get some tasty buffs. And I also just took Baycat to be the last member of the team. I think it's always good to have just, a solid high tier summoning pet when you don't necessarily have a specific 5th member of the team required. And, being able to have that unit surviving at the end. I mean, fair enough, Falcon can summon units, but it's very unlikely that it's going to be the last unit left. That looked like Troubadour was greeding for some kind of Bloodhound setup there, so I think maybe a bit of an easier opponent than we would have expected on turn 11. But Judean Date gives us a big upgrade here as we get both a steak and a melon in one go. I don't need to freeze the flounder anymore, we're basically set on our team. We just need the Chupacabra to carry us, and here's Yogru again, once more not playing Vulture, but still playing Flea, and we lose the Donut. Although some of the buffs do still go to the Falcon. I think you can see here that the buffs from the Tasty really are adding up quite quickly. Granted, we probably would have struggled to get some of those buffs if we'd been matched against full scaling boards. So in that sense, it is very fortunate that we've faced some summon squads. And actually here we're just going to scrape a tie against this Wolverine team. I feel like Wolverine has had a bit of a resurgence. Everyone used to think it was terrible, but a lot of people playing it these days. Yeah, more stats on the Falcon. It's still only level 1 on turn 13, which isn't ideal. Looks like we're not even going to get any knockouts here. Yep. Big Mandrake. And almost managed to scrape the tie, but not quite. And you can see there the Tasty denial where the units are at the back, and so we don't get all the buffs. And we do get the level 2 Falcon, which can be a big upgrade, just depends on the type of opponent we face. Fairly low statted looking Leech Tuna team, so we should be able to knock out the Octopus here with the Falcon. Yep. A little bit touch and go there because our units in the backline haven't really been scaled too heavily at this point, but we do get full Tasty value. But now we're on turn 15, and this team is really starting to look pretty sketchy. I think the ailments from the sea cucumbers are really helping to carry the team. As we face Matchman, I think this team has been in a couple of videos already, and the Falcon thankfully breaks the coconut armor there. Yeah, and we barely scraped the win. I think actually the Tasty got overwritten by Toasty, which is kind of funny when you think about it. And then on 9 wins, we end up facing Suboptimal now. I think almost every time Suboptimal's been in a video recently, he's been going for some kind of achievement. I don't know what was going on here. Kind of an unusual looking team with the Mosasaurus right at the back. But the Knockout Relay team clutches out the victory. And I think not a moment too soon, because that was doomed if it went past turn 16.